Again, we're looking for the Super Street cars to lane number 5. The Super Street 5/10 Pro Tree to lane number 5 for your first test and tune time trial session. You need to bring that orange card with you, please. Again, Super Street, lane number 5. Super Street, lane 5. Bring your orange run card with you. That'll be the first off with our time trial test and tune session this afternoon here at Gateway Motorsports Park, featuring the Division III Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. And I'm looking for the Super Street cars. When we make the call, we'll be running those out, and that'll be the end of each of the sessions. So Super Street, you should be in lane 5, ready for your first time trial session. Super Street, final call for Super Street for your first time run. Super Street, this is your first time run. Final call, lane number 5. It'll be on a 5/10 Pro Tree. The Super Street cars, lane number 5. I can use stock in lane 4. Stock to lane 4, please. Stock cars to lane 4. Stock to lane 4. Bring your run card with you, please. The orange run card. Again, stock eliminator cars to lane number 4. Stock eliminator to lane number 4, please. In stock eliminator cars to lane number 4. Stock eliminator cars to lane number 4, please. Stock eliminator to lane 4. Stock eliminator to lane 4. And please bring your orange run card with you. And we ask that all the supercars being teched use lanes 1 and 2. Tech lanes are 1 and 2 and 6 and 7. Supercars being teched, you need to report to lanes 1 and 2, please. And the stock, super stock cars, lanes 6 and 7. Super Street, you should be in lane number 5, ready for your first session. Super Street, you should be in lane number 5, ready for your first session. Remind you also that all announcements are done on 92.7 on your FM dial simultaneously from up here in the tower. So pass the word amongst your fellow racers, because there's a few places, and if you're far away you can't hear the speaker system, turn on your radio to 92.7 and you can hear all the announcements, lane calls, and so on throughout this weekend's activities here at the Lucas Oil Division race. Stock eliminator cars to lane number 4 for round 1 of your time trial sessions. Stock eliminator, first test session, lane number 4. Bring your orange run card with you, please. Stock eliminator to lane number 4. Stock eliminator to lane 4, please. Super Streets, you should be pulling out of lane 5. Stock eliminator, lane 4, please, for your first session. Stock eliminator, lane 4, please. I need stock eliminator to lane 4, please. Stock eliminator to lane 4. And please, when you're reporting for tech, report to lanes 1 and 2 for the supers and 6 and 7 for stock, super stock. We need the lanes 3, 4, and 5 for our test session cars. First pair of cars. Row on the left side. Those first 4 cars that ran, if you can hear me, you can return, and we will not punch your card again because we had the computer set for 8th mile. We apologize again. The first 4 cars that ran in the super streets, you had a 8th mile only information. You can return back to staging lane number 5, and you will not be punched again. Again, those 4 cars that ran, just bring your ET slip with you, and you can come back around if you would like at this time before we run stock. 4, please. Super gas to lane number 4, please. For the 5 at 107.72 miles an hour. That's for a B stock Camaro. Please, super gas to lane 4, please. Number 4, super gas in lane number 4. $187, 132, 1081, 134. Super gas, I need you to lane number 4, super gas to lane 4, please. Super gas, lane number 4, please. Please, super stock to lane 5, please. Five, and I need super stock to 4. 4, please. Please, super gas, lane number 5, please. Bring your orange run card with you. Super gas to lane number 5. Super stock to lane number 4. super gas to lane 5, super stock, lane 4, super stock to lane 4. Also in the stock eliminator and super stock eliminator, the title on your ET slip will not be for your class, but it is a quarter-mile full tree that we're running you on. We just haven't had a chance to change the titles on the ET slips yet. And the super street cars that got the 8th mile time, you can come back down to the staging lanes. We'll work you in, check with Bob at the head of the staging lanes so that you do not get penalized a punch on your run card. You want to make sure, because if you had that 8th mile time slip only, that's because we had it set for the 8th mile, unfortunately. We do apologize. Bring that with you in your run card, and Bob will get you worked in so you can get a full quarter mile and not penalized a run. We're in the beginning of your session. This is your first session. Super gas, super stock, you should be right behind them. Super stock, you should be right behind them. Stock to lane number 4, super stock to lane number 4. All right, now we're working with the super gas cars. Some of the neat cars, the Corvettes and the Camaros that have been made into roadster style. $984, $165 on the energy lane, $985, $159 on the AAA insurance side. $982, $161 on the AAA insurance side, and the $984, $169.13 on the laser energy drink side. And of all of the super stock cars, you should be in lane number 4. Super stock, you should all be in lane number 4 as we finish out the super gas cars. Six. $164 on the right side for the Corvette. Stock to lane 4. Final call for super stock to lane number 4. Please, super comp to lanes 3 and 4. Super comp to lanes 3 and 4. Super comp to lanes 3 and 4. .24 at 163 after a 0.12 reaction. Not a bad reaction time. super stock. GTIA Camaro right lane. Monte Carlo left side. Thousands on the left-hand side of the tree. .6. On the wrong side of the bulb. Turns at 1061, 121.7 miles an hour. Super comp. To the staging lanes, please. Super comp to lane 3 and 4, please. Lanes 3 and 4, super comp to lanes 3 and 4. Super comp to lanes 3 and 4. Super comp to lanes 3 and 4 for your first session. Please bring your orange run card with you. Lanes 3 and 4 for your first session. Super comp lanes 3 and 4. 1094 at 146.46. Kind of modify our lane call just a little bit because of the number of cars in each of the categories and make it a little bit easier and run it a little bit quicker. We're going to use lanes 1 and 2 for all the cars that run on a 5/10 Pro tree. Of course, that's only going to be super street cars. You can use lanes 1 and 2. Lanes 3 and 4 we'll use for the 4/10 Pro tree. Again, lanes 3 and 4 for the 4/10 Pro tree, and lanes 5 and 6 will be for the full tree. Lanes 5 and 6 are open for the following cars. That's all cars that use a 5/10 full tree. That includes cars like Comp Eliminator, Top Sportsman, Comp Eliminator, Super Stock, and Stock. You can report whenever you would like lanes 5 and 6. Bring your run card with you, and you will be able to make your time trial runs, your test and tune runs. Again, lanes 5 and 6 for all 5/10 full tree cars. Lanes 1 and 2 for 5/10 Pro tree cars. And lanes 3 and 4 for 4/10 Pro tree cars. Bring your run card with you each time you come to the staging lane. That's that orange card that you paid for when you entered the racer's gate. Again, Comp Eliminator cars, Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, Stock, and Super Stock. You can all report to lanes 5 and 6 whenever you would wish with your run card to make 5/10 full tree runs. 4/10 Pro tree runs, you can report to lanes 3 and 4. And the 5/10 Pro tree to lanes 1 and 2. 171 right side, 891, 173, 005 light for the AAA insurance side. He hopes he has a few more of those in his back pocket throughout this weekend. Real quick, 877, 183, 894, just a little slow on that 890 at 149 on the laser energy drink side. Shooting around 890 with a 00 behind it. Indeed. 4/10 full tree cars, you can use lanes 5 and 6. That includes stock, super stock, comp eliminator, top dragster, and top sportsman. All the classes that will use a 5/10 full tree, you can report to those lanes at any time. Bring your run card with you. 4/10 pro tree cars, you can report to lanes 3 and 4. 4/10 pro cars to lanes 3 and 4, and 5/10 pro cars to lanes 1 and 2. Again, I can use the top dragster, top sportsman, comp eliminator, stock, and super stock cars to lanes 5 and 6. We're running on a full tree, that's a 5/10 full tree. Right now we're running super comp cars. They're on the 4/10 pro tree. 878, 170 on the AAA insurance side. Opposite lane was an 891, 166.9. Both of them a little bit too anxious. 043 against a 008. Get all your red lights out of your back pocket today so that you can do a good job the rest of the weekend. So 891 with a 7, 181, 968 right side, 175. Both of them again too quick. There'd have been a 4 thousandths difference between the two on the reaction time. Need to have your car teched in. You'll want to report over to lane number 7. That's where the tech officials are doing teching now that we're into time trial sessions. So lane number 7 is where you want to go if you need to have your car teched in. We're running time trial sessions up until about 9 o'clock tonight. Looks like everybody ought to get at least 3 punches on their card. Again, if you want to report to lanes 5 and 6, if you're a 5/10 full tree car, that would include the following categories of top sportsman, top dragster, comp eliminator, stock, and super stock. Throttle stop activity out there. Right lane goes 891, 178. Left lane 889 with a 1 at 162 miles an hour. Both running on the 890 index for the super comp class and a 4/10 pro tree. $891, 177, last car on the AAA insurance side. Back to some super street cars. Camaro 1071, 93 miles an hour on a 1090 index. I'm sorry, Glenda Rowe 1071 in the Mustang, 93 miles an hour. Camaro 1099, 153, a very unique start. I mean, he pulls a giant wheel stand, then the throttle stop kicks in, and then it comes back on with another giant wheel stand. He had an 084 and an 083 on the reaction clock on the wrong side. And all comp eliminator stock, super stock, top sportsman, top dragster cars that are using a 5/10 full tree, you can report to lanes 5 and 6 because we're going to run them by starting line type since there are not that many cars in each of the categories. So 1189, 10 at 109 miles an hour. Right side 1085, 133.43. Move on over to some stock, super stock, comp eliminator, top dragster, top sportsman type cars, all running on that 5/10 full tree. Since there's only a few cars in each category, lump them all together. First up, a super stock Mustang. Superstock had a 0:01 reaction time. That's exactly what he'd like to see on the reaction clock. 8:12 at 168 miles an hour for the Superstock Mustang. Zero 1-3 in the AAA insurance lane for the reaction against the 005. And the insurance lane stops the timers down there at 9:04 with a 6, 148.5 miles an hour. The laser side prints out 9:65, 138.05. Steve Ambrose, left side, been running that 6-cylinder Ford-powered dragster forever. I remember teching Steve for years and years and years with his high-dollar head. I'm told he's points leader right now in comp eliminator. Very affectionate guy. Great racer, been around a long time. Of course, Ford, because I believe he worked at Ford most of his life, as did all of his crew members. His crew chief right behind the car. And Steve Ambrose, that little altered. Six-cylinder powered, 115. I'm not sure what his index is these days. Goes 791, 169.17 miles an hour for Steve Ambrose. 791, 169.17 miles an hour. That was a comp eliminator car. Back to 0:27 on the reaction clock. 8th mile 7:10, 11:34, 114.29 mile an hour pass. Brings up an A-stock automatic Camaro. A V6 dragster of Brian Browell, the bell housing maker. I have to stop by and say hi to Brian. Known him for a long time. His wife out there crew chiefing, backing him up in the right spot. No 3.0 reaction time. Very good reaction time for a comp eliminator car because you don't have any electronics to help you start the car. 7:25, 178 for Brian in the V6 powered dragster. The A-stock automatic 10:56, 123.84 miles an hour. We got a super stock left side, a competition eliminator car in the right lane, I believe, or maybe a top dragster. I don't know which it is. Can't see from the side right now. Super stockers, one of the notorious things, or the things about super stockers, most of them pull nice giant wheel stands. Probably more wheel stands out of super stockers than any other class. Goes 1054, 123.18 miles an hour. Again, lanes 1 and 2 are for cars that use the 5/10 Pro Tree. Lanes 3 and 4 are cars that use the 4/10 Pro Tree. And lanes 5 and 6 are for 5/10 Full Tree cars. That's all the categories of comp, stock, super stock, top dragster, top sportsman. 720, 131.23, clicks it off after running a 421/8 at 166 miles an hour.
It's probably got water in it from raining.
Need a towel.
Is there anything on it? Yeah, I had a lot of skulls on it. There what? Yeah, there was. There's a lot of shit on it. Let's just go ahead and do them all up here then. Jerk off real good, man. His mic ain't on, dude. Oh, no. Look, kids, about that. There it is. Told you.
It was in the guard beam. I knew it was.
Got something that says a piece of Lexan on the side window somewhere on the track just came out.
You want to go look for that,
Yeah,
Sam?
might take a look at it. I don't even know where.
You get a bum too, right?
Yeah.
There's one too, Cookie.
Hey, yeah.
Did you wipe this one off?
George,
Oh, yeah.
that very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a real heavy rain. We'll get tubes.
Very good one. It's on the side of the wheels.
On that end?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, there ain't nothing we can do about that. I mean, maybe the water. There's like, this one's bad. We're just going to have to try it. There's like it is in the lens. We may have to turn the guard off.
It's got a fucking level on it. You can see right now.
Try it now. See if
Again, we're using the following lane designation. Lanes 5 and 6 are for cars that run on a 5/10 full tree. That would include cars that are in the competition eliminator category, top dragster category, top sportsman category, the stock category, and the super stock category. Then we're using lanes 3 and 4 are for cars that in the 4/10 Pro Tree, and that would be cars that are running in the super comp category and super gas category. Then we're using cars lanes 1 and 2 for cars that are running on a 5/10 Pro Tree, and that would be super street cars only. In the following designation: super street, lane 1 and 2, super comp, super gas, lanes 3 and 4, top dragster, top sportsman, comp eliminator, stock and super stock in lanes 5 and 6. Also asked if you do have pets on the premises that you please police after your pets throughout the weekend. Again, if you have pets on the premises, we would ask that you clean up after your pets. We'd appreciate that very much. Reminds you, the gates open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The gates open at 7 a.m. Tech begins at 8 a.m. and will continue through 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. Time trials and qualifying will begin at 9 a.m. in the morning and run to approximately 7 in the evening. That's for super stock, super street, stock, super gas, super comp. And then we'll have a qualifying session for top dragster at 3 and 8, qualifying session. Qualifying session at 3:30 and a second one at 8:30. Then the top sportsman qualifying sessions will be at 4 and 8:45. Top alcohol dragsters and funny cars will qualify at 6 and 9 tomorrow. 10:22 at 132 miles an hour. Well, Mick Snyder having some problems with his blown and injected Corvette. Well, Mick Snyder having some problem, not going to be able to fire it up. I'm sure he'll do a little checking and he'll be back shortly. We've got plenty of openings for time runs, lanes 1 and 2 for the super street cars. Again, lanes 1 and 2 for the super street cars. That's cars that run on the 5/10 Pro Tree. We've got lots of space in the staging lanes. We have lanes 3 and 4 for the cars in super gas and super comp. That's the cars that use a 4/10 Pro Tree. And then, of course, Lanes 5 and 6 for the 5/10 full tree. That's for comp eliminator cars, top dragster, top sportsman, stock, and super stock. So if you want to get some time runs in, come on down. We've got plenty of session space for you right now. Pair of top dragsters. In competition, they can not exceed 6.00 seconds. Of course, that doesn't mean anything during a test convene session. So we may see some bigger numbers out of these cars, depending on how tight the track is today and what they've put in a tune-up. So 014 against an 011. 011 on the right side, 014 left side, 655 and a 694. 655 right side. .11 miles an hour on the right side. Left side clicks it off before it gets there, and it goes 694, 139 the AAA insurance side. So our first 200 plus mile an hour run this weekend here at the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series event. Of course, that won't be the last one because we have top alcohol funny cars and top alcohol dragsters, which run in the very high 200 mile an hour range. They'll be here tomorrow afternoon and Saturday, doing 2 qualifying sessions tomorrow afternoon and evening, and then of course eliminations on Saturday. .087 reaction. Time slip says 8:68 with a 0, 159.76 miles an hour. Again, 5/10 full tree cars, lanes 5 and 6. 4/10 pro, lanes 3 and 4. 5/10 pro, 1 and 2. Couple more of the top dragster cars trying to get the feel of Gateway Motorsports Park's track. So purge the nitrous, left lane, right side. Looks like one of those Paxton style superchargers. He was here a couple of weeks ago, made the partial pass through the belt clear over into the grass area. And I don't believe he came back for any more passes. He got the belt problem figured out. It's Stayed on this time, runs a 673, 210 miles an hour, opposite of 670 in the AAA insurance side at 201.55 miles an hour. An 082 reaction left side with the nitrous, and 023 with the supercharger on the reaction clock. So top dragster run just as fast as you can run, but don't go under 6.00 seconds. Another purge with some nitrous in this car. Top dragster, a lot of them use nitrous for that little extra horsepower. An 021 on the reaction clock. 60 foot, 113. Trips the beams at 672 at 204.2 miles an hour. Again, I got plenty of space for 5/10 Pro Tree cars in lanes 1 and 2. Plenty of space, lots of time trial opportunities for 5/10 Pro Tree cars in lanes 1 and 2, 4/10 Pro Tree cars in lanes 3 and 4. That's Super Gas and Super Comp. And then, of course, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, Comp Eliminator, Stock and Super Stock, 5/10 Full Tree in lanes 5 and 6. I'm going to be running till about 7 p.m. I'm sorry, till about 9 p.m. this evening. Tech will be open till 7 o'clock, so you've got an hour and a half left before the tech area will close. And about 3.5 hours of time trial sessions left. 721, 193 miles an hour. With a 001 reaction time. Top Sportsman car. Thinking maybe that's Shane Carr in this Top Sportsman car, left-hand lane. A little bit too quick. Goes 762, 187. Kind of a checkout pass. Make sure everything's hitting on all 8 cylinders for the car. See some rather unique combinations. So another top dragster, and then we'll pick up the hard work here. Bob Moser had on 019 reaction 659, 155 miles an hour. He was running 177 at the 8th, so he slowed her down a little bit. Now we're going to have the sights and sounds and smells of a little nitro. Megan Meyer, Randy Meyer's daughter down here. Of course, I know Randy real well. Teched his car many, many times. Injected nitro burning dragster. Our list shows that both Megan and Randy are going to run this weekend. The cousin to the top fuel dragster, of course. No blower on it, just injected. So Megan Meyer and one of Randy Meyer's two dragsters. That's her dad standing out there checking the pattern, making sure everything is okay. Get her backed up in the new patch of rubber. Low fives in the 280 mile an hour range are the numbers for top alcohol dragster. Of course, this is not an alcohol. This is a nitro burner. Class that I ran a lot back in the 70s. Of course, went a lot slower in those days. Alcohol dragster going 536, 265 miles an hour. And of course, they have auto shut off down there, so they can only run it that far. 536, 265, and had a very good reaction time, an 026 reaction time. 942 at the 60 foot. 8th mile, 355 at 222 miles an hour at the 8th. 1,000 foot, 451. And again, 536 with a 0 at 265 miles an hour. So track's not doing too bad out there, especially after all the rain that we've had the last couple of days. It was Megan Meyer, daughter of Randy Meyer, a longtime top alcohol dragster racer. Again, I can use super street cars. You can report to lanes 1 and 2 for sessions. Super gas and super comp, you can report to lanes 3 and 4. And then top alcohol, top dragsters, top sportsman cars, comp eliminator, stock and super stock, and top alcohol dragster, top alcohol funny cars. All of you that use can report to the lanes. The dragsters and funny cars would be a pro tree. The 5/10 full tree cars, you can report to lanes 5 and 6. That's stock, super stock, comp eliminator, top dragster, top sportsman cars. And we have plenty of space down here for you to get some passes in. Just bring your orange run card with you. Verify that you have paid for the test and tune opportunities. Ten 78, 134.64 miles an hour. Super Gas Super Street. I'm sorry, Super Gas Super Comp 4/10 Pro Tree. $979 at 165 miles an hour. So running as a super gas car on the 990 index. $1,477, 59 miles an hour at 025 for the A stock car that just went down the track. .011 reaction time right side. Goes 985 at 170 miles an hour. Left lane, AAA insurance, 984 at 156.73 miles an hour. Five-tenths full tree cars, you can use lanes 5 and 6. Five-tenths full tree cars, you can report to lanes 5 and 6. That's Comp Eliminator, Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, Stock, and Super Stock. And, of course, the alcohol cars, if you're going to use a 4/10 Pro Tree like you would in competition, you can go ahead and pull in lanes 3 and 4 if you'd like. I know we had one alcohol car already. Would like to make a pass. You're welcome to pull into lanes 3 and 4. The 003 light, the insurance side, 12 light right side, 1014 for the laser drink, 888 with a 9, 161 miles an hour. So running on that 890 dial, running a little bit too quick, right side. Running on a 990, a little bit too slow. And Rich Browers tells me that the tech will probably open sometime around 7:30 in the morning after the gates open at 7 o'clock. So make sure they get all the cars teched in and ready to run for the 9 o'clock session when we start running for real tomorrow. 890 dead on with a 0 on the right side at 158 miles an hour. That's the numbers he would like to see all day this week, every day this weekend, every race. 993, 150.08 miles an hour behind an 010 light. Of course, the light on the right side with that 890 and a 0 was a 284. That's not going to work, even though you run an 890, unless the other guy decides to break out, like go too quick. Oh, 82 reaction right side, 1030, 169. Left side goes 890 with a 1, 171 miles an hour. It was 3 thousandths too quick on the tree.